Well, in consumer news tonight, China is punching back, saying it will impose tariffs on U.S. imports. This is all in retaliation to the Trump administration's tariffs on China, which took effect at midnight. Starting next week, China says it will impose a 10 to 15% tariff on certain products.
It's going to reduce demand for U.S. goods, and it's going to have a negative effect on the economy.
Meanwhile, proposed tariffs on Mexico and Canada are on pause for at least a month while border security negotiations continue. Canada has promised more choppers, drones, and personnel, and Mexico's president has promised 10,000 National Guard troops to the southern border. Well, we now know a scheduled phone call between the presidents of the U.S. and China has been canceled. Consumer 10's Clay Gordon looks into what the proposed tariffs would mean for Americans if it stays in place.
China was the top supplier of goods into the United States, $536.3 billion, or 16.5% of total goods brought in, according to a 2022 report from the Office of the United States Trade Representative.
1 in 8 items that you buy on the shelf that come from another country are probably from China.
According to Bankrate, President Trump's 10% across-the-board tariffs could increase prices on computers, broadcasting equipment, electronics, office equipment, toys, video game consoles, auto parts, clothing, and textiles.
Very few items since the pandemic are actually cheaper today than they were before the outbreak occurred, but it was those smartphones, those computers, those tablets, laptops, all of those were actually much cheaper today than they were back then. And of course, tariffs maybe raises the risk that those prices start to go back up again.
Chinese President Xi Jinping announced plans to retaliate against Trump's tariffs with a 15% tariff on U.S. coal and liquefied natural gas products, and a 10% tariff on American crude oil, agricultural machinery, and large engine cars. So when will consumers start seeing the trade war impact?
I think there's places where it can hit almost immediately. We had seen kind of an immediate impact in the stock market that could ultimately weigh on Americans' retirement accounts just because of how jittery investors currently are about a long-scale kind of trade war. Could also start to see it impact Americans' finances and the oil and energy markets.
For Consumer 10, I'm Clay Gordon.